You are right on time, my friend, to be embarking on your content creator career because the creator economy is growing. And it is not too late to get started. It is not too late to be a full-time content creator. Now is the perfect time. So take a seat, grab a cup of coffee, an iced latte, and let's talk about how the influencer era that most people are familiar with is over. It is gone, but that is not a bad thing. It is a great thing because the creator economy is where we want to be. And let's talk about how it's changing, what's changing, and why right now is the best time for you to get started. Welcome to the Millionaire Podcast, where we talk about the behind the scenes of running a creator business and navigating the creator economy. Everyone and their mothers teaches you how to do this, how to become a full-time content creator. There is no lack of information out there. I mean, I myself am part of these creators that teach the how-to, the practical tips, the step-by-steps. Just go to my main YouTube channel and you'll find all of that there. But that is not what this podcast is for. So if you want the how-tos, the step-by-step, the practical tips for how to grow as a content creator, check out my main channel. But here, this is where we are having real-time conversations, my thoughts, opinions, and observations as somebody who's not only grown my own creator career, but is actively working with other content creators and helping them grow theirs. Now, by the title of this episode, I don't want to lean into like the fear mongering of like, oh, influencer era is over. Oh my gosh, it's over. Everything's failing. But like, it was such a good title. You know what I mean? And I'm also not new to this whole thing. Like people have been talking about this for ages of how like this influencer era is over. This has been happening for quite a while now. And I think where this comes from, let's kind of talk about what exactly is over and what is taking its place. The word influencer, first of all. I think there is such a interesting connotation with the word influencer. People almost don't want to be called or identified as an influencer because it feels so maybe cringy or 2019 era of like original bloggers, travel fashion bloggers who blew up. Those were like the influencers that kind of set that tone. I'd even go back maybe a little further and say like 2017, 18, 19, that era of influencers. I think during that time frame and before too, like OG YouTube influencers, there was something about aspirational content where it was so cool to see this luxurious life that other people were living through travel and going through like travel advisors and being on these crazy luxury travel trips and even luxury makeup and trying all this cool things. Like that was the aspirational influencer content. Whereas now it's kind of a read the room situation. You know what I mean? Right now, we're probably not in the best situation with our economy to be pushing like, look at my luxurious lifestyle in an inauthentic performative way. I don't want to like use somebody as an example, but I feel like if I had to, the only person that's coming to mind is makeup artist Jaclyn Hill. I feel like she's like that picture perfect example of what influencer, that word influencer kind of represents. I just saw another tea channel talking about this on YouTube. I think it was Spill Sesh, but how Jaclyn Hill, she's been in like the makeup, she's an OG YouTube makeup creator, an OG influencer. She would talk and review a lot about makeup products and just products in general, and would also lean luxury, I would say. And now with her content, especially on TikTok, it's very almost kind of out of touch a little bit with most people who are following her. And I'm say a little bit because I don't want to offend, but I feel like it's out of touch with her OG followers and OG audience. She will do videos where she's like, oh my gosh, I couldn't decide on which luxury bag to get, so I got them both, or I got all three of them. And then you're going to help me decide which one. And then she's like reviewing these luxury handbags that she just spent thousands and thousands of dollars on just to like hold them and test them and then see which ones she wants to return. And that's not very realistic. So I feel like that's a good representation of what people kind of associate the word influencer with. Is this a little bit out of touch or inauthentic? I'm not saying Jaclyn Hill's inauthentic, but another example of like the inauthentic would be people like, hey guys, so today, like very forceful energy. That's kind of like the influencer era. It's very forceful, very performative, and maybe out of touch. So that's kind of what I would say is that influencer era. Whereas now we're going more content creator. And that phrase content creator has been in the space for a minute, and even brands lean more towards casual creators that it is the exact opposite of influencer content. It is not performative. It is very just them talking to the camera. There is no performance. It's very casual. It's just yap content, or it feels very casual. And that's why their audience loves it, because it almost feels like, oh, I just threw up my phone, or I'm just have this random thought. Let me throw this up here. And I feel like that is what a lot of people are connecting with, is that authenticity or that real-time connection in the moment thought processes. Even the day in the life content creator videos, instead of big luxury day in the life, just like very casual, hey, get ready with me as somebody who works a regular 9 to 5, get ready with me as a stay-at-home mom with 3 kids and 2 dogs and 7 horses. It's just like someone's normal everyday life, and they're just documenting it and sharing it. So that's more what is happening right now. Creators who can show up and almost share their life or aspects of their lives in a way that just feels very casual and comfortable. The reason these types of creators are blowing up, because viewers, I think, were just overwhelmed with that performative content. And so they'd rather just see like a natural, organic feeling video that they resonate with. And so that, for the viewer, it's refreshing. And also on the brand side of things, brands want to work with creators that are genuinely connecting to their audience in that intimate way, instead of constantly like reviewing products like, okay, let me review this matcha for you guys. Brands want creators who can embrace authenticity and talk about their products in a very natural way. So it's a win-win for the creator, for the viewer, and for brands. Brands are leaning more towards casual creators than the typical influencer. Now, what I see happening over the next few years, because like I said, this kind of transition and shift, it's not new. It's been happening for a few years, and it's kind of already happened in a sense, but also what does that mean? Where is it going to continue to go? I see a lot, of course, Yap videos that work really well. Those casual, let me just FaceTime content. I had talked about that in another video on my YouTube channel. Also, any sort of like mini series or mini show where it has that casual feel to it, and you also get to document, or like somebody gets to document a full process A to Z with like this slow release series that they have on their channel, almost like signature series, but in a show format where it's storytelling instead of, I'm going to do 75 hard and we're going to see what the results are. It's more like storytelling through multiple episodes and multiple videos. I could see that shift happening. And also, where I really think we're going to be going hard is live content, because especially with AI content creators and AI in general just kind of taking over, I feel that a lot of people are going to want to connect with real people, real creators, and the best way right now, for now, the best way to show like, hey, I'm real, is to be on a live interacting with commenters. And I say that too because right now on social media, the way things are kind of evolving is AI is going to be interacting with AI. If you're a content creator and you're posting and you're growing as an aspiring creator, and it's hard for you to keep up with comments, right? You might set up an AI tool to reply to comments for you, right? But if a lot of the comments end up being AI, then it's just like AI talking with AI instead of people making real connections. So, what happens to the people who want real connections and who feel like they are commenting and being responded to by bots and so that they don't like it? The people who want those real connections, they might lean towards, I think, either live content or long form YouTube content. So, if you're listening to this and you've always wanted to be a YouTuber, I think now is the best time to get into that if you haven't yet, because we see a lot of AI short form creators. I think it's easy to kind of pull the hood over someone's, is that what it's called? Pull the hood over someone's eyes? Pull the wool? Why do I think wool? That's like a sheep. Anywho, pull the hood. This is probably not, that's not what the saying is. And some of you are like yelling at me what it is, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's easy to pull the hood over someone's eyes in short form and kind of trick them like, hey, look, I'm a real person. Just kidding. I'm an AI content creator. And there's been actually AI creators that are completely fooling people in short form, but we really haven't seen that in long form. So I think long form is going to continue to rise because that's where people are going to go to feel that intimacy, feel that connection, feel that casual content. And so if you're not already on YouTube and creating long form, I think it's perfect to pair with a short form format if you have that capacity. Also, I have a student, BSP student, who's in my BSP community. They make a majority of their income through TikTok Live. Literally replaced their corporate job income with TikTok Live. And I think live is so underutilized. You have to, that takes a very particular person. I'm not saying everybody listening should be on TikTok Live. I think it takes a very particular person to do lives consistently because they're going on live 3 times a day, Monday through Friday. And that's how they make a majority of their income. And they're not just like sitting there like, hey guys, they're very engaging, very fun to watch, and just a great time to be around. So I think it does take a particular type of person to be on live, but I do see the direction of content going that way. Now, I had said, like, why is now the best time to get into content creation? Content creation or the creator economy, y'all, is popping off. And I don't see that slowing down. I don't see that stopping. Just to give you some context, 6 years ago, there were approximately 200,000 full-time content creators in 2020. 3 years later, 11 million full-time content creators. Now, 200 million full-time content creators. And the market is projected to continue to grow. I don't think it's not clocking. It is not clocking to so many people how powerful this industry really is. And how so many people can create a living off of being a full-time content creator. The reason why I don't see the creator economy going anywhere anytime soon is because right now, social media is the biggest escape from day-to-day life. We have normal, everyday people, right? They work 9 to 5s or they're running their businesses, and to unwind, people go to social media. They're going to Instagram, they're going to TikTok, they're going to Facebook, they're going to Twitter, they're going to YouTube. I go to YouTube. I, as a de-stressor, am on YouTube all the time. I'll be doing dishes, listening to a YouTube video. I'll be in the shower, listening to a YouTube video. Getting ready for the morning, listening to a YouTube video. Watching a YouTube video. Usually I'm just playing it, listening to it. But people are de-stressing and unwinding by consuming content. The more content there is to consume, the longer people are going to stay there and unwind. Right now, the creator economy is like a $250 billion industry. Within the next 2 years, it's projected to reach $480 billion. Within the next year, it's going to double from a $250 billion industry to $480 billion industry. Y'all, businesses, individuals, Brands are putting their money into the creator economy, and literally within the next year, there's going to be $200 billion more up for grabs that you could go and grab a little piece of pie of. You could go grab a little bite of, and it could completely change your life. That is why I do what I do, because I genuinely believe in the creator economy. I think it is powerful. This is just the beginning for the creator economy. Yes, it's going to continue to grow and evolve and change. I think that's exciting for content creators. I've had to continue to change and adapt my content. That's something to keep in mind if you want to get into the space, is you'll have to continue to refresh and ideate what you do every single year. But it is so powerful, and the projections are showing that it's just going to continue to grow. Where I'm putting my money right now, my bets are still on TikTok and YouTube. I do feel like there's a potential up and coming something like Substack, or another one that's just going to come out of the woodworks and just like blow everyone away. So keep an eye out for that. But anywho, currently my bets are still on TikTok and YouTube. I know everybody's like, what about TikTok gets banned? I think it would have just happened by now. But I constantly see creators popping off on TikTok and YouTube. Let me ask you, think of your favorite content creator right now. Think of your favorite content creator. Actually, think of like the biggest name creator you could think of. Biggest name, biggest creator in the world. Not just your favorite, because sometimes our favorite creators, they're small creators and they're like maybe 8,000 followers and you love their content. So I don't mean your favorite creator. I mean, like, think of the biggest creator name you know. I can almost guarantee every single person listening to this, not one person is thinking about someone who blew up on Instagram. It's not a creator who's like, I'm an Instagrammer, right? And this is no hate to Instagram. I think Instagram is a great social media app for certain creators and certain businesses. I think their DM capabilities is the best in all social media platforms. So I'm not trying to put hate out there towards a platform. But again, we're talking about the creator economy. We're talking if you want to be a full-time content creator, and if you want rapid growth and you want to be that next big name, think about those big names right now. What platforms did they start on? Did they rise on? Most of the time, you're hearing a big YouTuber's name, right? You hear Mr. Beast and you're like, okay, that was a YouTuber. Or you hear Alex Earl, okay, TikToker, right? You don't hear big names and go, Instagrammer. So that's why I still believe if you love short form, no harm starting on TikTok. Do TikTok. If you love long form, you're in a great place with YouTube, because again, I just see people gravitating towards cozy long form style videos continuously in the future, even when we're all wearing like AI glasses and walking around our house in our own universe with these glasses on. I just feel like YouTube is going to be the place to hang out, but maybe I'm biased because look at me. I am on YouTube and YouTube is my preferred place. But that is what I'm going to leave you with. If you want to be a full-time content creator, literally now is the time. You are not behind. You are not too late. If you want to learn how to be a full-time content creator, go over to my YouTube channel, because I have a 3-hour free masterclass that teaches you step-by-step how to go full-time as a content creator, and you'll get everything that you need from watching that video, and then you can subscribe while you're at it. I'll also leave that video linked down in the show notes, and I hope this podcast episode inspired you to get started and to show you what is on the other side of this journey, being a content creator, that you can absolutely make this a career if you're open to turning content creation into a lifestyle for yourself. So thank you so much for listening to my yap sesh today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Go enjoy a cup of coffee or an iced latte, if you will, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.